music is what holds the world together, this world, the next world, and the previous world. And we have all of that running in our pulse, running in our blood. That's what music awakens, quickens, brings back to life, brings all of us to life.
Hey guys, PC here, giving you some good advice on making good music today. You might remember me as the lead singer of 10 Black Lines. Well, now I'm here to give you guys some advice about how to make better music and how to be a better musician. Principle number 1. There are no shortcuts. Let me say that again. There are no shortcuts. Now, there's a part of you that knows that it's true. But there's another part of you that thinks, I'll be different. I'll find a quicker way. You won't. And it'll take you just as long as anybody else. The reason all these websites promising pro secrets or 7-day successes exist is to exploit your shortcut mind. You know it's a lie, but you still want to buy into it. Sometimes literally. So the first thing you need to do is forget about shortcuts. Then, all that wasted energy can be focused towards actually improving, slowly and surely. Principle number 2. Ask yourself why you play music. If the answer is to impress people with your skill, or to become famous, then you'll never be a great musician. The reason great musicians are great is because they speak to us.
What would you tell 4 guys in a garage that had a good batch of songs? What would you tell them to do today?
Go play live. Just play live. Honestly, if you're good at what you do, people will recognize that. I really believe it. I really believe that going out and playing good songs live as a great live band will make you successful. I really think it will, and it doesn't matter if you're at the shithole down the street or you're on the side stage at Bonnaroo or you're headlining Lollapalooza.
So many musicians think that becoming great is just about acquiring technique. Skill's important, but it's what you do with it that's important. Technique is the vessel through which you say something. Most musicians sing words or play notes, but don't say anything with them. They're afraid that if they do, people will reject their message. If you want to be great, you must get over being timid and throw your personality into music.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. Yeah, the magician's assistant in their dream. Oh. Down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing the song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Is this movie that I think you like? This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running from himself. She's been living on the high shelf. Oh, and they come unstuck. Lady, running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you.
Principle number 4. Always enjoy your music. Many musicians think that to be a proper musician, you must be serious, and that means squeezing all the joy out of it. Music should lift you, even on those difficult days. If it doesn't do that, you need to be asking yourself, why not? Being a musician can be a struggle, but what keeps me going is playing music. All the rubbish, rejections, disappointments, and success is just a means to an end to keep on playing as much as possible. Principle number 5. Find your uniqueness and highlight it. Find the things you do differently and build on them. Great musicians have a unique way of doing things, and that's why people are attracted to them. All too often, musicians try to please everyone, except themselves, and end up being boring players. Great music divides listeners because of its uncompromising vision. If one half of your audience hates you, but the other half love you, you're onto something. If everyone says it's nice or okay, you need to think about what you're trying to communicate, because you're not hitting anyone at a deep level. Yet, being unique isn't about expressing oneself. It's about working hard on your music whilst developing a voice. Kurt Cobain worked damn hard to be so unique, yet many musicians fall into the trap that all they do is be genuine and not worry about practice or technique. Principle 6. Simple does not mean easy. It annoys me how many musicians think they're beyond simple things, such as timing, feel, or basic chords, yet can't play very well at all. Jimi Hendrix spent years and years playing simple rhythm guitar. While it didn't stretch him out in the least, it formed his style. His playing always weaved rhythm and lead so they became one, laying complexity on top of simplicity. You are never past simplicity. If you think you are, you'll never get far. Principle 7. Learn from people who are better than you. This is a difficult one, but once you give up on trying to pretend you're a genius, you can learn from all great music that surrounds you. Rather than wasting energy feeling that you have to compete with something, you can embrace and learn from it. Another trap to fall into is that you end up trying to reason with yourself that better music is just different, when deep down you know it's really better. Look for musicians around you who aren't famous, yet still brilliant. It's easy to say that you're not as good as Bob Dylan. It's harder to say that about a peer musician. Principle number 8. Keep a sense of humor. I see music as a spiritual challenge, and the better I get, the easier it is to touch something divine. But within this journey, there are massive ups and downs. Take all the setbacks lightly. Don't let any success go to your head, and always be glad for any good luck. It's normal to get frustrated, but don't let this become a default setting for your life and music. Principle 9. Don't listen to everyone. The Oxford Companion to Music defines music criticism as the intellectual activity of formulating judgments on the value and degree of excellence of individual works of music or whole groups or genres. There's a time to listen to criticism and advice, and there's a time to ignore it. In the stage of building something up, you want to avoid judgment. Otherwise, it's in danger of being torn apart. Once you have created something fully formed, then you can invite judgment, because you know what you have done and why you can evaluate criticism and judge if it's relevant. Principle 10. Don't just tell one story. It's natural to tell a story through anything you do, including music. But many musicians just run one story. I'm a singer-songwriter. I only play fast metal guitar. I want to be a rock star. One-story musicians are walking cliches. As well as making you a boring musician, it also makes you narrow-minded. You won't listen to acoustic guitar because you only play electric. You won't listen to punk because you're a classical musician. Developing a unique sound requires you to cross-pollinate. Creativity comes from the curiosity, what will happen if I take that and put it there? Try not to be limited by the stories you have about your music. For sure, everybody has an image of what kind of musician they are, but that needn't be set in stone. A good thing to do is to go to the library and find something far away from where you are. If you're a singer-songwriter, you don't need another Neil Young CD. You need one on Indian raga songs, or a George Gershwin musical. When you stretch your musical wings, you begin to have a lot more stories running, and your music becomes a lot more creative. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow these steps and you'll become a better musician in no time.